A residency in an overseas country can be acquired by different routes. The most common paths are employment, investment, or family reunification. But in contrast to the usual routes, there are several countries where you can get a residency by simply showing a proof of income. This income can be generated from pension, remote work, or any other passive source. However, nowadays, countries that granted such residencies have increased their income thresholds. Therefore, in this video, we have ranked 12 countries where you can get a cheap income-based residency. In 2026, the criteria for this ranking is simple. Countries that have the lowest income requirements are on top of the list, while countries with higher requirements are on the bottom. Nevertheless, if you have income or pension above $2,000, you can acquire residency in each one of these nations, but that too, provided that you have a clean criminal record and health insurance. Another thing to note is that not all of these countries grant permanent residency straightforward. In some, you initially get the temporary residency, which can be renewed continuously and eventually convert into a permanent residency. Number 12. Mauritius. Situated some 1,200 miles off the southeast coast of Africa, Mauritius is a tiny island in the Indian Ocean. The island's magnificent landscape fascinates retirees and remote workers from all over the world. This appeal is due to its beautiful sandy beaches, turquoise water, well-developed infrastructure, and wonderful temperatures. When it comes to residency, there are pathways for all, be it an investor or an expat looking for work, but its income-based residency is commonly known as the Mauritius Retirement Visa. This 10-year permit is a popular choice for retirees planning to relocate to Mauritius. This visa initially grants temporary long-term residency, but after 3 consecutive years, it can be converted to a permanent residency. To qualify, applicants must be able to transfer $2,000 per month or a total of $24,000 per annum to a local bank account in Mauritius. Holders are eligible to renew the permit upon expiry, subject to providing evidence that they have met the minimum income transfer requirements during each of the previous 10 years. Establishing this residency in Mauritius enables foreign nationals to open a bank account, include qualifying dependents, world-class medical facilities, and dedicated tax incentives. Number 11. Sri Lanka. Set in the Indian Ocean just below India, Sri Lanka offers the kind of tropical setting many people imagine when they think about living on a tropical island. For a long time, the country has been seen mainly as a travel destination, but it is slowly becoming more interesting for people who want to stay longer. This is all due to recent reforms by its government that have enabled internationals to attain its residency. The country launched its Digital Nomad Visa in the first quarter of 2026. This program allows remote workers to live and work from the island for up to 1 year, with options for renewal. To acquire this, applicant typically must demonstrate stable foreign income of at least $2,000 as well as proof of accommodation, valid health insurance, and sufficient funds deposited locally. The advantages of residency in Sri Lanka lie primarily in economic leverage. For example, if you bring in superior currencies like the US dollar, euro, or pound, you can live here rather lavishly. Foreign residents can open local bank accounts, lease property long-term, register companies in permitted sectors, and operate service-based or consulting businesses subject to local regulations. Number 10. Uruguay. Uruguay is a small country in South America with around 3.4 million inhabitants. But even though Uruguay is a small country, it offers a variety of lifestyle options. One can choose places like Montevideo, the capital city with an active cultural scene, Punta del Este, the continent's most sophisticated beach resort, La Paloma, a small beach town on the Atlantic coast, or a rural town in Uruguay's countryside. Its residency program is based on showing regular monthly income, commonly called the Independent Means Visa. It requires proof of a stable income or pension, typically amounting to at least $1,500 per month for an individual. This visa grants permanent residency straightforward, which means there is no expiry once approved, Therefore, it can also lead to citizenship after 3 to 5 years. Another thing to note is that Uruguay does not require residents to report worldwide income. This includes a retirement pension, social security payments, rental income, and capital gains earned outside of its jurisdiction. Number 9. Argentina. Sitting at the bottom of South America, far from any international flight hub, and embroiled in economic problems that sometimes make nomads nervous, Argentina is a great country for those on a small monthly budget, as median living costs, even in its capital city of Buenos Aires, is under $1,500. The country provides 2 residency options. The first one is its pensionado visa, which is tailor-made for people with a regular pension income, while the second one is rentista visa, which is for passive earners. Both visas typically require proof of a monthly income of around $1,400 to $2,000, and holders receive temporary residency, which is usually renewed annually up to 3 years, after which the applicant may apply for permanent residency. Holders of this residency can open local bank accounts, sign long-term leases, purchase property, and establish companies with relatively straightforward procedures. Number 8. Ecuador. Ecuador is not without its flaws. Bureaucracy can be slow, systems are not always consistent, and in certain areas, safety requires a degree of awareness and common sense. Yet it is precisely these imperfections that have kept Ecuador from becoming overrun, and therein lies its advantage. For those willing to look beyond these drawbacks, Ecuador offers a remarkably affordable and well-balanced way of life. The cost of living is low, and the use of the US dollar adds a layer of financial stability that is often overlooked but deeply practical. It has a specifically designed visa for individuals with passive income such as rental income, dividends, or annuities. If you are a remote worker or freelancer, it is commonly referred to as the digital nomad visa, and if you are retired, it is known as the pensioner visa. The key requirement is to show proof of income amounting to at least $1,400 US. After a satisfactory temporary residency term, holders may pursue permanent residency. Plus, it does not bind the primary visa holder to stay within the country for a specified amount of time each year, which presents a flexible living arrangement compatible with the lifestyles of traveling retirees and remote workers. Number 7. Brazil. Brazil was once a go-to destination for retirees and young nomads, drawn to its vibrant beaches, culture, and unmistakable energy. Nowadays, however, concerns around crime and gang-related violence have made many more cautious, and as a result, it no longer sits as prominently on relocation lists as it once did. But then again, much of the serious crime is concentrated in specific areas, particularly within certain favelas, and is not reflective of the country as a whole. There are cities and regions that offer a far more stable and comfortable lifestyle. Florianopolis, for instance, stands out as one of the safer and more organized coastal cities, clean, well-developed, and with a quality of life that appeals strongly to both locals and foreigners. Residency is another area where Brazil remains accessible. The income-based visa is relatively straightforward, typically requiring proof of around $1,500 per month. It is not a particularly high barrier, especially compared to other countries. The main drawback, however, is the process itself. Bureaucracy in Brazil is known to be slow and, at times, cumbersome, meaning approvals can take longer than expected. Number 6. Albania. Set along the Adriatic and Ionian Seas, Albania remains one of Europe's most underrated nations. Living here is, above all, affordable. Rent, food, and daily expenses are notably low, allowing remote workers and those with steady foreign income to live comfortably without financial pressure. Coastal towns along the Albanian Riviera provide a laid-back lifestyle, while the capital, Tirana, offers a more dynamic setting with cafes, services, and a growing sense of modern development. Its income-based residence permit, commonly linked to the Type D visa, is one of the most accessible routes. It typically requires proof of a monthly income of around $1,050, making it one of the lower thresholds in Europe. The permit is granted for 1 year and can be renewed annually, provided the requirements continue to be met. Number 5. Peru. Famous for a sanctuary of Machu Picchu, Peru is the iconic country of the Andes. Its unique combination of ancient indigenous civilization and Spanish colonial heritage makes it one of the most unique destinations in South America. And if you're thinking about living here long-term, everything really centers around its capital city of Lima. As the nation's economic and cultural center, this expansive coastal capital offers the infrastructure, services, and connectivity necessary for sustained living. Its sheer size, however, means that experiences can vary considerably depending on location. Most of the coastal districts are better suited for internationals, as these areas are more developed and have low crime rates. In terms of residency, Peru offers a practical pathway through the Rentista visa. Designed for individuals with stable passive income, it typically requires proof of approximately $1,000 per month. It is a long-term visa that can be valid indefinitely, though you must stay in the country for at least 6 months per year to maintain it. Number 4. Portugal. Over the years, Portugal has solidified itself as one of the most attractive destinations for long-term residents. At the center of this appeal is its D7 visa, designed for individuals with stable passive income or pension. As of 2026, applicants are required to demonstrate an income aligned with Portugal's minimum wage, which is around €920 per month, or roughly $1,080. On paper, this sounds easy, but in practice, this visa comes with a couple of nuances. Firstly, there is a significant backlog in processing applications, and it is not uncommon for approvals to take up to 6 months or more. Secondly, the actual cost of living in Portugal, particularly in major cities such as Lisbon and Porto, is considerably higher. Moreover, the structure of the D7 pathway is also important to note. The initial visa granted is valid for 4 months, during which time the applicant must enter Portugal and convert it into a residence permit. This first permit is typically issued for 2 years, followed by a renewal for an additional 3 years. Despite the administrative delays and the gap between income requirements, it offers safety, stability, a high quality of life, and access to the wider European Union. Number 3. Panama. This small Central American country constantly ranks among the best and most affordable to attain a residency in the world. There are several notable reasons for its fame among all, be it an investor, retiree, or nomad. Currently, it is the most business-friendly, politically stable, and modernized relocation destination in Central America. It is also home to a major international banking sector, and the U.S. dollar is the official currency. The primary Panama residency program is based on showing guaranteed monthly income is the Pensionado visa, requiring a lifetime pension of at least $1,000 a month, while for individuals with a private guaranteed income, the private earner visa requires a certificate of deposit generating at least $950. Other than this, there is a real estate investment route and a business investment option, which is ideal for those looking to set up a firm in Central America. Number 2. Bulgaria. In a continent where many destinations have become predictable, expensive, and overextended, Bulgaria remains quietly intact, affordable, functional, and largely overlooked. Even in its capital city of Sofia, living expenses remain modest by European standards. There is also a certain variety to how one can live here. Sofia offers a straightforward urban rhythm with a growing cafe and remote work scene, while Plovdiv leans more cultural and relaxed, with a slower pace and a strong sense of place. Beyond the cities, the country opens into mountains, coastline, and countryside that feel refreshingly underused, never crowded, never overly commercial. Bulgaria's residency program for showing independent income is officially called Long-Term Residence for Pensioners or Financially Independent Individuals. It requires proof of sufficient means of subsistence, typically at least one minimal monthly salary, which equates to around $600 alongside bank statements, accommodation proof, and health insurance. The residency permit is usually granted for 1 year and is easily renewed if the requirements are still met. Number 1. Colombia. Mainstream media and Hollywood usually portrays Colombia as some sort of crime-infested country overrun by drug cartels and mafia. However, In reality, the country as a whole is far from it. Sure, there are some areas to be avoided, especially in cities like Bogota, Cali, and Buenaventura, but overall it's fairly safe. In fact, it's cities like Santa Marta, Medellin, and even Cartagena have a lower crime rate than many major cities in the U.S. It's less about fear and more about understanding the environment, knowing where to go, and when not to. Most internationals adapt quickly, and once they do, daily life feels far more normal than expected. The country has both a digital nomad visa and rentista visa. The typically monthly income required to attain the digital nomad visa is to have an income of around $750 to $1,000, depending on exchange rates and policy adjustments. With this visa, you can live in Colombia for up to 2 years but must not work or generate business income while in Colombia. Thanks for watching. If you find this video informative, be sure to leave a like, if not then a dislike, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content.